What's up, Men's Physique fans, and welcome back to another episode of Men's Physique Radio. Now, there is no question, this is the most anticipated video to hit the channel yet. Over the past few months, I have been creating a lot of content that centered the men's physique community, which then put me in direct competition with the previous sole provider of the content in this space, Hart Mcgrath. So, we have him on the channel. And we peel back all of the layers of who Hart Mcgrath is, how he got to where he is, the beef that then arose from the content that he has been creating over the years. And I ask him directly whether or not he feels any type of way about the content that I've been creating that is direct competition with him. And I truly believe you're going to be shocked with his answer. There's a lot of good content in this call, and I truly believe this is what the division needs. So let's sit back, relax, and enjoy this video. Bodybuilding is a niche community, and then within that community, we have the men's physique division, which is the nichest of all of those communities. With the rise of notable figures like Jeremy Buendia, Brandon Hendrickson, and Andre Ferguson, not to mention Ryan Terry, the division took on a new life. And because of that, the division reached new heights when it came to bodybuilding. But in the modern era, it's not just what's done on the stage that helps grow the sport, but it's also the coverage from people like my good friend Hart Mcgrath that creates the digestible and entertaining content that helps bring new eyes to the sport. So I'm very excited about this interview. It's one that we have been meaning to bring to life for you guys for a very long time. I want to give a quick shout out and thank you for hopping on the NPR pod, Hart Mcgrath, brother. Thank you.
Brother, what an intro. I appreciate you tons. I'm so happy to be here. It's so nice to actually be connecting with you over video call because Instagram doesn't do it. Those DMs just don't do it for me, bro. So I'm stoked to be on here and get into hopefully some deep conversations that can bring some people value, bro. I appreciate that. What an intro. I agree with you 100% on the men's physique shit. The number one division in the world. I don't care what anyone else says.
Hell yeah.
It's men's physique. I agree.
It's men's physique, man. And again, men's physique has always been looked at as the redheaded stepchild in the eyes of bodybuilding, right? But I also think that with the characters that we have in here, right? It truly is something special when we have people who highlight those characters, who, paint a picture of who they are, again, not just on stage, but off the stage. And, that's why, having people like you, to kind of expand our division and add entertainment to it, very similar to the Nick Strength and Powers and the other powerhouse media channels out there. It's something that men's physique has been missing, man. And, it's something that I feel that is a big reason why men's physique is growing in this modern day and age. So, just really the main focus of today is digging in just a little bit deeper about you, man. Like, you have made a name for yourself in men's physique. I recently released a video about the most influential men's physique names in the space, and you were one of the only people who were not an actual competitor IFBB pro who we cover consistently, right? So again, you have opened up doors for people to kind of build on top of, like, their name. And again, I want to kind of peel back the layer and see who is Hart Mcgrath, not just the guy in front of the camera, but the personality and the people, and who we've all come to know. Is that cool?
Yeah, definitely, bro. It's so interesting talking about men's physique in 2024 for me, because when I first started talking about men's physique, it was on the old channel about 5 years ago. And I was really about changing my own physique and seeing other guys like Raymond, Terry, Buendia, seeing all these guys taking it to that next level was just insane. And that was like, wow, that is now what I want to be doing. And I'm so glad I get the chance to be honest and people get to hear this. And I want to really get into it right away. After 5 years of covering it, bro, and myself evolving as a person and seeing what my passions are and what I really want to be doing, it's actually, bro, getting harder and harder for me to speak on it. And this is something I don't think you even realize. My girlfriend's going to be like, bro, why are you telling people this? But it's the truth, man. 5 years later, I'm definitely a different person than I was when I was 23, 24 years old, trying to be like Raymond Evans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now it's interesting talking about men's physique. I'm so glad there's someone else like you who is covering the sport, because I think the sport really needs that, and we love this sport. And I think one day there's going to be hundreds of people talking about men's physique. I really do think we are the pioneers, and I think you feel that, and it's such a great opportunity to hop on this and spread that light.
Yeah.
But going, I guess,
So
go ahead, brother.
no, yeah, like I mean, you kind of hit on a few different points that I really wanted to, bring back. I've been following you for a while, and I've been a fan of who you are for a while, and you've been pretty vulnerable online, kind of sharing some of your trials and tribulations that you went through, and I remember one specific topic, and again, I hope this isn't overstepping, but I remember you specifically talking about not having people in your corner who believed in you. Maybe was it your dad or your mom or somebody just who consistently kind of talked down on what you were doing when it came to this media stuff. And I also remember it was also kind of somewhat in alignment of a time where you shut down, a successful channel that was just going crazy. You had Men's Physique tuned in, locked in. Everybody was focusing on what Hart was going to say next. Did one during that time, what were those circumstances or troubled times that you were going through, and did that have a direct effect for you to delete that
Mhm.
YouTube channel that was, if I'm not mistaken, over 100K subs and growing drastically?
Bro. So yeah, I'll be vulnerable here. When I started this channel in 2020, I was living at my mom's house, and I have zero relationship with my mother, and I don't have my father. My father's name is Danny, and that's why he's on my face. So
Rest in peace, bro.
I appreciate you, bro. I love talking about him, joking about him. But my mother never supported me. She just wanted me to be the clean cut, 9 to 5, stand up, like um house trained black dude, bro. Like literally that perfect church going black guy with a clean
Yeah.
cut haircut. So I'm a huge rebellion of my mom. My mom is raised in the South. Back in the day, she's older, so she's like 60. She remembers, going to her mother's work and seeing that, her grandmother had to use the colored water fountain or the colored restroom.
Yeah.
She grew up in a different time. She was a principal here in my hometown, Reno, for like 20 years. Disciplined, hardcore, bro. Hardcore black lady from the South. And I'm way more like my dad, who was a Vietnam veteran, very natural. All we did was camp and be in the sunshine and fish and stretch and meditate. So during that time in 2020, bro, I was living at my mom's. I didn't have a job because I want to give my all to this channel. I thought I could create a men's physique channel that could one day create a life for me and my girlfriend, where we could work 20 hours a week on the channel and make semi-passive income, create a community, provide value, become a authority figure in the industry, if you want to call it. Super cool. 2020, 2021, hardest years of my life. My mother did not support me. She used to joke at my videos. When I used to show her, she would make fun of me. I used to do them in this office room, and I was very grateful to be there, and that she let me be there for a year and a half and not work and just focus on this YouTube. But she would be outside the office, bro, and she would purposely turn up the TV every time I was supposed to do a video. And my heart was already racing every time I was supposed to do a video anyways, and sweating like crazy. And I just didn't have the support from my mother, and it was extremely hard. And as you know, YouTube doesn't pay really shit unless you're like absolutely killing it. It's a different day and age. So I did give up in 2021, and I sold the channel to Marcus Hunter, Men's Physique
Yeah.
Pro down in San Diego.
Yep.
Shout out to Marcus. I don't know what he did with that, but thank gosh I have my wonderful girlfriend Alyssa, who just like I'm sure your better half is just like the support system of all support systems. She
Yeah.
kept me going. She held me down and just kept believing in me. You can continue to do this, and I made that next channel. But that 2020 to 2021 was difficult. Living with someone who I have no relationship with. I never had a relationship with my mother, bro, ever in my life. She never wanted to be a mother. So, yeah.
Did is that what stemmed and built Hart is Weird, almost like that rebellion side of you where, you're being more outspoken. And did that kind of peel back the layer to embrace that Hart is Weird side?
Yeah, bro, I got really weird in 2020. I was getting really weird in 2020. I was just me and my girlfriend would wake up, we would slam like 5 beers, we would skate all around town. Midday, we would do some mushrooms, bro, jump in the river, just really just seeing what I wanted to do. I was vlogging every single day. I used to vlog my days. I wanted to be like a famous vlogger on YouTube. So I was spending so much time just discovering who I was and what I wanted to do and being weird and being rebellious. Like all these tattoos are just rebellious
Yeah.
tattoos, but that definitely started the weirdness. And then, I'm still super weird, bro. How weird do you want to get?
No, and that's the one thing, bro, I love about you. And you know what? More specifically, your relationship, because you're open. Like you
Hmm.
share, whatever is going on. Like
Yeah.
Alyssa is a ride or die, like, and
Thank
I've
God.
seen it. You don't, you don't hide it. And as a recently married man, right, I know the value of having a good woman by your side.
Yeah.
Somebody to hold you down when things are not necessarily going the way that you have planned, but also, raise the standards of who you are, even when things are, going the way that you've envisioned.
Yeah.
And one thing I will say is, like I mentioned, I see from online, Alyssa is that for you, so in a brief summary, man, like how has she been that catalyst to springboard you, Hart McGrath or Hart is Weird to keep going, like recentering after deleting the YouTube channel, I remember you got injured, she had your back. She was literally wiping your ass. Like these things, like these things, bro, like I'm sure that she was being put through a lot during those times too. So, I'm curious to know, kind of how having her by your side has leveled you up as a man and as a content creator.
She's always been that person that I could go to because ever since my dad died when I was 16, I never had like a rock or base to go to when shit got hard. I'd
Yeah.
always become a victim and just get down and feel bad and lay on my couch for years expecting something would come through the front door and change my life. And my mom saw me and just let me kind of rot. And I needed that male figure, bro, at 16 years old because right when I was starting to become a man, my dad was gone. I didn't have that, and I was just being raised by a woman who wasn't my rock. And then I met Alyssa at 23 years old. I was 23 or 22. Alyssa was 18. Ever since then, even till this day, bro, becoming like being the strong creator that everyone sees. I'm not. I mean, I guess I'm strong, but I'm really not that strong, bro. Most days, Alex, most days I wake up and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
What am
Bro,
I doing?
I don't think people realize that as somebody who owns a business, as somebody who is starting another business, right? Every single day, creating content, they think that this is just something that is so second nature to us at this point, right? I feel like even when I'm stepping on stage, man, like, yes, there's a veteran sense once you're up there, but like it, it's, it's the doubt, right?
Mhm,
It's the unsure, the unknown, that consistently brings the fear, but it also brings the excitement, right? And
mhm, mhm.
um, I, when you said that, man, it just really hit home because I might from the outside look like we have everything going on, but I have my video guy here who just moved in, and it's funny because if people were to see kind of our conversations that we have behind the scenes, like yeah, we're pumping out 4 videos a week. People think they were a well-oiled machine, but bro, we're just having an idea, having fun, and trying to do whatever we can to bring it to life. And sometimes it's all over the place, and sometimes it's doubting, and sometimes it's feeling low, and kind of hitting on what you were hitting on, man. Like sometimes having my wife, having my guy Johnny, my training partner, people here to kind of pull me out of that, is it's been everything to me. And
Yeah.
with you having lost your father, I know that's not easy. I lost my stepfather in the past, and it's something that still kind of haunts me to this day. Right, I'm very blessed to have a lot of family members in my life, but it's definitely not a tough or easy pill to swallow. And again, kind of seeing your positivity, overpower a lot of the negativity that inevitably comes with the social media
Right.
side of things. It's been really cool, man. And I've recently noticed, just obviously with creating content and covering certain things and maybe not having the direct, opinion or same opinion as somebody else. Negativity comes with that, right? Like heavy, right?
I'm
And
sure you're
at
feeling
the
it now, big time,
yeah,
huh? Yeah.
yeah, bro. And it's a little different for me because a lot of times, I share the stage with these guys. Right? A lot of times, I consider them brothers, in iron. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's not the easiest. But when you stand 10 toes and understand that what you're doing is, one, trying to focus on positivity and
Hmm.
add value to the division we all fucking love.
Yeah.
The reality is, like you feel confident and you can go to sleep with that at night. Now,
Yeah. Nice. Yep.
with that, man, over the years, you've covered and analyzed, brought awareness to, and at times criticized certain competitors. And, some of the most notable being Aaron Banks,
Hmm.
Charles Grant, Drew Colin,
My dogs. My
Jeremy
dogs,
Bondia.
bro.
Exactly. But I personally believe
Hmm.
all of these were never with ill intent. You know, I, I know there's some obviously back and forths and some things that we, put online,
Yeah.
but the biggest dispute, what is the biggest dispute that you've ever had with a men's physique athlete? And what is it and how has it affected you?
2022 Boston Pro.
I know this one.
Aaron Banks was my best friend, I thought. Young, naive heart. And I can say this. I say I love these guys, and I get coaches and people reaching out and say, Hart, don't say you love these guys. What are you doing? Like, they're not your boys. Literally, like you said, if I can come from a place of love, it's all good, and I can say this. I don't give a fuck what they say. 2022 Boston Pro. Men's Physique News. Shout out to Mike. Flew me to Boston to cover the show. I've been hyping up Aaron for a year. But I was telling the world about Aaron. You don't know how many people hit me up and said, bro, I had no idea who this Aaron Banks what guy was until you started hyping him up and you gave me interest in Aaron. I go to the show. I film the show. I take pictures of the show. Me and Aaron are talking, DMing. I end the show. The show's over, and I have this baller video for Aaron. I'm so excited to send it to him. Hits me up after the show. He says, "Where's my video?" I shoot him the vid, and I go to sleep. Next day, I'm thinking as a content creator, "Oh man, this is so cool. He's gonna tag me, and people can see all my hard work. And Aaron's up there, and I've been making videos. And he didn't even tag me." And my mistake and what I've learned from is not to have such a quick emotional response. My next
Yeah.
move was straight to Instagram, where everyone was kind of paying attention already what I was doing, because I was telling everyone, I made videos in my room for a year, and I'm actually getting flown out to cover shows in a way. That's super cool. People were interested in that. And I put up in my story, very disappointed in Aaron Banks. And then from then on, there was a lot of, I guess, anger between me and Aaron. It was a big learning point for me because I wouldn't do that again. But I'm really glad I did that then to learn that that's not how I should have reacted. I shouldn't have expected anything from Aaron Banks. I should have just been doing that to do it. But that was one of my biggest, I would say, controversies with an athlete. It took a long time for me and Aaron to start building that trust again.
Yeah.
I'm glad we have that. So that was probably one of the biggest ones, because that also involved his coach as well, and his coach was
Oh, I did
upset at
not know
me.
that. I did not know
Yeah,
that.
his coach is upset. Hart, what are you doing? I thought we were cool. What are you trying to do with Aaron? Yeah, that's interesting. But like Legion, bro, Legion 2023, I was best friends with his wife and just talking with him and his super cute family and like holding this kid, so
Adorable.
that's why it's interesting. Like when I talk about Aaron, especially Aaron, it's like I've held his kids. Like I know his little boy. Like I know his wife. Like such nice people. I can't, as much as people may want me to shit on Aaron, I can't shit on Aaron. It just doesn't feel right. I'll be honest, but I just can't do that.
No, and I respect that wholeheartedly, man. And listen, I'm not going to say I had my disputes with Aaron, but Aaron has always been somebody who says what's on his mind, and he doesn't really bite his tongue, right?
Mhm.
And that can come across very, let's just say, negative to a lot of people, right? Like there's always been a stigma about him just based off of that cockiness or boastfulness that maybe has come with the previous versions of him, But when I've actually had an opportunity to listen or talk to him, right? When I have the opportunity to peel back the layers and, now I have that weekly basis conversation, at times it's pretty daily at this point, right?
Yeah.
And because of that, I've really got a chance to see the different side of him. Now, do I think he has grown a lot just over the last 2 years? No question about it, bro. Like,
Yeah.
the reality is when it comes to having a fast rise, I think that naturally comes with, just a little bit of arrogance that comes with it, right? And I also think that, take it from me, bro. I won, or I placed second in New York Pro, my second year or second pro show, and then third pro show, qualified for the Olympia, placed 14th in the world. Like, all of these things happened in such a short amount of time. I thought I was the shit, and I'm going in the Chicago Pro, no care in the world. I got humbled, right? And I think, getting humbled at times, and it's kind of crazy to sit here and think that Aaron's getting humbled is placing second. But the reality is when your expectations don't necessarily get met, I think that gives you an opportunity to take a step back and look at things in a holistic view, right? And I've seen a much different version of him ever since Legions and
Totally.
third place at the Olympia, which is still insane when you think about it, right? And it's cool because I have seen a God-fearing man more. I've seen somebody who is fully invested. I'm not saying he wasn't before, but at least seeing it now is a little different. But, in his family and his kids, hearing the way he talks about that, the love that he has for being a father. And then, of course, the approach that he is now taking since those situations to now what he's doing now, where you don't see Aaron talking shit anymore, right? Like, he's still the same Aaron. Like he doesn't change, but he just does it in a way where it's more of my actions are going to speak louder than my words at this point.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool. I mean, I think when you kind of had that situation going on with him, and I'll be honest, man, a lot of people were on your side. A lot of people were heavily on your side, even though, obviously, Cuts and Aaron and some of the louder names might not have been, but it's cool seeing the evolution of a champion because we are
Totally.
all forever growing, right? And
Yeah.
bro, I can vouch for that man right now more than ever. And people, I get shit on for all the time. Like, why are you having him on the pod, or why, bro?
Trivialities, bro.
Exactly. Like, it's such a value seeing growth, and I've seen it personally through Jeremy Buendia, right? From the
Yes.
man he once was to the man that he's showing to be now. Right? We're not perfect. None of us. We're always going to have those, teeter back to an older version of ourselves because we're forever evolving. But again, I think it's really cool to see that. But the ever evolving aspect also comes with you, and we've seen that side of you too, where one, you're not going to let people just walk over you. Like, you have a voice, and your voice is going to be heard if you truly believe that things need to be said. Now, do I personally like putting things on social? No, right? Especially in my shoes with if I'm competing against these guys. No, But I also have seen you stand up for yourself, and again, I don't know if the old Hart would have done that. So
Yeah.
it's really cool seeing this, and I think we all grow from certain situations, man. And just wanted to give you your kudos because from somebody who's oftentimes in front of the camera, it's a lot. It's all the eyes, all the negative comments, and negative comments tend to stand out more than the positive ones, right?
Yeah.
And again, especially when it's coming from guys that you cover and you're fans of, and you just want, truly, like, I want these guys to repost me because they're excited for what I'm saying, or they respect me for what I'm saying, right? And I'm trying to detach myself, from that a little bit, as I'm starting this. But again, it's really cool. I can go on forever about this, but I think it's really cool to see that evolution from not just yourself, but from the athletes who you and myself are beginning to coverage. And I think that's what needs to also be highlighted, because a lot of these people don't think that they're people, right? They just see them as figures. And same thing with you, right? They see you as somebody who's a figure. So when a figure does something they don't like, they forget that there's a human behind that person.
Yeah.
And that's what they attack. So
Yeah.
again, it's cool.
Yes. If I could have, bro, if I could go to lunch with Aaron after this and have some wings with Aaron Banks and Jeremy Buendia, I'd fucking love it, bro. Like,
Bro.
yeah.
Listen, I'm saying it right now. All right.
Huh.
Knock on wood. God, please. I'm fucking qualifying for the Olympia this year. I don't care
You
what
better,
nobody.
bro. You're going to disappoint the whole fucking community.
I'm coming, right? I'm qualifying for the Olympia. I know Aaron's obviously qualified for life. I'm saying right now, and Drew too, right? I'm gonna make you and Drew hug, right? All of it. I want all. We're all gonna be in Vegas, and I don't care how we're gonna get. Well, you live pretty close, right? So we're gonna get you out there. We're gonna go out to eat. right? We're going to have a good ass time. I'm calling it out right now. So in the comments below, if it happens, I want you to continuously remind us, because this shit is, we're not going to let this fall by the wayside. We're going to bring the men's physique community together, from the voices but in front of the camera to the people on stage. I can promise you that. All right. Do I get your word on that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, bro.
Oh yeah.
Bro, if
All
I
right.
need to fly out there, I'd be talking to all these fools. I'd be making
Yo,
them laugh. I'd be trying to have fun. Yeah.
trust me, we'll make it happen. Don't even worry about that. Now, before we hop into the final part that I want to hop into, I really want to focus on a different side of Hart Mcgrath,
Okay.
right? Everyone knows you as the guy in front of the camera,
Oh, and
but
I hate it, bro. I hate it so much that I'm known for just the men's physique guy, bro.
yes, but some don't know that you were actually the one in front of the judges on stage wearing the board shorts once upon a time, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what was that experience like? And do you ever think you'll do it again?
Being on stage, bro, I don't think I know myself very well. I don't think I have the most elite genetics to be able to be the best in the world. And when I was on stage, I didn't really have a lot of passion for it. I've always been very lackadaisical when it comes to like competition, to be honest, bro. Like I used to get in trouble after games when we would lose, and I would still be very lighthearted about it. I just for some and I don't know if it's because of my dad died, and I was just that was so hard for me. Like nothing, I couldn't take anything serious after that. I just
Yeah.
couldn't. But being on stage, bro, the last time I was on stage, I got whooped by like this 70-year-old dude who was shredded to the bone. I can never stay perfect. I can't be perfectly conditioned, bro. I always cheat on my preps, bro. And I've told my coaches that. I love team sports more than just being up there myself. It didn't do it for me, bro. If I'm being dead honest with you, it did fucking nothing for me to be on stage. I'm like,
Yeah.
it just wasn't for me. It just didn't feel like this was me.
I bet it gives you a newfound respect, though, for those of you you're covering, right?
Oh,
Those,
1000%. The dude, that's why, 1000%. The people who do this for years, like you yourself, has been doing this since what, 2018, 2019?
yeah, 2019 was the first year.
Like still going at it, still trying to be the best you can be on stage. Like you said, since I've done it, the respect is like, holy shit. Like you guys are
Yeah.
monsters.
You also talked a little bit more about the PED side and how that affected you mentally.
Yeah.
Like, is that a deter? Is that something that, you still lift, you still train your ass off, right? Is that something that you still want to explore for more self, examination, or do you prefer to kind of keep it natural because of some of the things that you found out while running a cycle?
You know what, bro? So I first started doing gear when I was 18. I was in high school. I started injecting testosterone, and probably 18 to 29, which I am now, I was always either like on pro hormones
You're
or
29,
I'm about to be 30, bro. I'm older than you, huh?
bro. Yeah, I turned 27.
I'm
You
older than
fucking look,
Drew. Drew's hella young too.
bro. You look so young. That's crazy. You don't age, bro. Black don't crack. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What was I saying, bro?
The PEDs, the
The
mental side.
Yeah, bro. The PEDs, bro. Like I took PEDs because Instagram. The reason I took PEDs was because I started seeing physiques on Instagram, and I'm like, holy shit, that is what I want to be. So I was heavily influenced by social media to hop on PEDs right away. So when I was 18, it was 2013. Instagram was really starting to rev up. Jeremy Buendia Mark Anthony just won the title. Like physiques were becoming a thing. I need to go and get some gear, website, find the gear, ordered it to my house. I started doing it at 18, never really stopped, on and off. I don't think there was 1 year where I was completely clean. I was either running a TRT, I was either doing a cycle, or I was either doing a bunch of pro hormones, a bunch of orals. Because my mind, bro, I was so obsessed with becoming bigger, right? I had to look like those guys on Instagram, and I did that for so many years. I got coaches through this process, became smarter about it, didn't do all the extreme, heavy, dumb cycles. Like, bro, my very first cycle ever when I was 23 for the Tahoe show, I did like 750 milligrams of trin. I did like 750 milligrams of EQ, 750 milligrams of test, because I was being told this, bro. So I have
Oh
like
my
the worst
God.
horror stories ever, bro. I have acne scars on my back that I don't think will ever go away. you know. But the reason I got off, bro, in December is because I am like the most tight person you could ever fucking imagine, and being on PEDs and growing like that to that super physiological level, my
Yeah.
body really doesn't feel good, bro. So getting off and just reducing inflammation, reducing my muscle mass and everything, and being smaller, I feel so much better, bro. Like I feel like $1,000,000.
Yeah, it's so hard, man, because comparison is the thief of joy, bro. We see
Mm-hmm.
people online and we want to look like them. And, we compare, especially as athletes, man. We got to
Mm-hmm.
realize we are literally scrolling and only coming across things that we are comparing ourselves to or seeing on a day to day basis, right?
Yeah.
Like, that is what we do. Like,
Mm-hmm.
our sport is to be judged, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then in return, we feel like we need to judge ourselves against everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not easy, man. So when you are a young kid who's also having that mind, right? Especially if you start competing at a younger age or becoming a fan of the sport at a younger age, like this is what you start to learn.
Yeah.
And you then think PEDs are the only route to get you to where you're getting to. And
Mm-hmm.
the reality is, you say it, and this is what I love. You come out and you're raw with is like genetics, man. That's half the battle, if not more than it, right there, right? Obviously, the PEDs play a massive side in what we do here, but it's not the end all be all, right? And I think people try to mask hard work with the PEDs, and that is probably the reason why that a lot of younger kids are stirred down the wrong
Mm-hmm.
path.
Mm-hmm.
And I was blessed in an aspect of, you know, having people by my side to steer me in the right directions to make sure that things weren't being abused and I was educated on anything. And that's the very similar approach I take with my clients, as I'm sure you take with yours, when it comes to maximizing the least, like making
Mm-hmm.
sure that more doesn't always mean better. And I've always understood like cleaner receptors and keeping a healthy body is more responsive body, right? And on all of these things. And I think the biggest and the best thing that you kind of wrapped up and said was your body just wasn't necessarily, didn't feel the healthiest. It wasn't responding out on the outer shell like it was healthy. And once you're kind of dissecting those cues, it's kind of clear that, you weren't in a position to be the best version of yourself simply because of some of the things that you were abusing. And I think that's a clear message for a lot of people coming up where one, listen to your body, and two, you can never supplement hard work and consistency with more gear, right?
No.
So
Nope.
that's the biggest thing I want to emphasize now.
Yeah.
Before we get into here to my favorite section, which is the rapid questions, I do got two more things here I want to
Yeah.
cover
Hit me, bro. Hit me
now.
deep. Hit me real deep.
All right, well, I want you to be honest with this one. All right,
I'll try.
because I'll be honest, this is something that I wanted to talk to you about off camera.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that simply with you just agreeing to being on here, I think that it kind of speaks more volumes than anything. But in still, I'm very curious on where your headspace is with this. But, I've recently started to use my platform to create content about the division, in
Mm-hmm.
which you've been a huge inspiration to me. And I've voiced that, many times. At first,
Yeah.
did you feel any kind of way about me following down a path that you've inevitably created and paved?
Of course, bro. Of course. It's definitely, after so long of doing it just my own and no one else ever trying to create what I was doing. Of course, when I start seeing your stuff, it's going to make me naturally feel some way. Of course, when I see comments about, I liked the comment the other day. It said, I forgot, they tagged you and they said like, Hart, where the fuck are you at? Alex Top is going to take over your job. Of course that hits me, bro. And then I have to meditate. I have to really like sit back and breathe and say, wait, like I'm not competing against Alex. I'm competing against like last year's Hart who only wanted to do 2 videos a week. Like that's who I'm competing against. I'm competing against the old me. And I feel like it'd be so easy for me to start to get salty over what you guys are doing. And what you guys are doing is so badass. How I view it is I have no control over anything else other than like my own choices and my own thoughts. YouTube, I have no control whether YouTube wants to plug me into the algorithm. I have no control over you just doing such a great job right now, bro. Like honestly, it's sick to see. I don't know how you're doing it. It's awesome. I just need to take a step back and say, you know what, Alex is my dog. The only person I need to compare or compete against is my old self. And you have a job to do, Hart. That's to show up Monday morning, being your best self that you can be, and just do a video, and hop on that call with Alex on Saturday, so you guys can have a really good relationship and he can really hear how you truly feel. And that's my dead honesty, bro.
Bro, we both see the comments, right? And
Yeah, yeah.
the reality is that's why as a fan of you, I don't like getting those comments. I respond to every single one of them emphasizing that I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for Hart. I just try to use a different perspective that gives me an opportunity to potentially bring eyes in, right? At the end of the day, we all have different perspectives. Like yours could be of value in one way, which probably is more relatable because not many people are on stage with these guys, or not many people are on stage in general. So like
Right.
they're looking at it more in tune how you are, right? But I also think that just the simple fact of, and I say this all the time, but I want to make sure it's very clear, right? Collaboration over, competition.
Mhm.
Like at the end of the day, listen, we both want to grind, right? We both love creating content. We both love the men's physique division. It does not mean that simply because we love doing similar things doesn't mean that we can't be at least in alignment. And not only that, doesn't mean that you don't want your videos to beat my videos or whatever, right? Like I think
Mhm.
healthy competition is good, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you can still hop on a fucking call and keep things positive and help each other in any way. Like I told you, bro, I want to invest in you, your channel, right? Because I believe in what you're doing. And I'm going to say it very clear now. Like what you're doing will never be matched because you are you and you're unique as can be. I won't have a Hart Mcgrath personality on these videos because I don't have that, like I won't call Kaiki the juice muscle cow or whatever it was, right? Because like that's just not me. Like
Yeah.
you have your unique personality, and I think that's why you stand out in the way that you do, right? Now, I need to be able to find a way that makes me stand out in a unique way, but the simple fact that we're actually able to hop on a call, right, and have these conversations and I'm not even gonna say uncomfortable, bro, but like actually talk about these kind of things, I think it speaks volume because there's so many people out there, especially in the rise of social media, who just want to
Mhm.
talk shit behind the scenes and they aren't feeling comfortable enough to have this dialogue. So
I agree.
again,
I'm
man,
excited to post this. Can I post this on my channel, bro? I'd love for people to
bro,
see how we are.
Bro, absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. Like collaboration. Like I want this to be something that, we both are able to help grow, not just our channels, bro, but the fucking division.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
that's what this shit's about.
Mhm.
It's how can we grow when you peel back all the fucking layers, man, like people don't need to understand the reason we do this is for the division of men's physique. I could easily talk about classic physique. Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't compete up there, but it's easier to throw a thumbnail of Chris Bumstead or Ramon Dino on there and start getting fucking views, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot easier for me to do that. But in the reality is, men's physique is still the redheaded stepchild of the division, but I still want to only focus on men's physique.
Yeah.
And that is because that's the division that we love and we see a lot of potential in, and that has motivated us personally in our own journeys to get to where we're getting to.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
because of that, we're both all in on men's physique. And it doesn't mean that we'll never say anything about the other divisions, but this is where our heart lies and this is where it stays, right? So again, and I think this is special, and one thing I want to make it very clear, guys, one thing you are going to continue to see is collaboration in some kind of way, with Hart, whether it's on camera, off camera, it doesn't matter. I'm a fan of him and I appreciate the kind words that you can, consistently say about me. And again, whether it's criticism or not, I know it's coming from a good place, and I think that's what people need to understand, including myself, the athlete side of me, as well as the content creator side of me. Now, here, man, we kind of talked about your life. We've kind of circled back into kind of what makes you tick, what doesn't make you tick. We talked about you shutting down your channel at one point, bringing it back to life. What is the end goal for your content, for your YouTube channel, and where is Hart Mcgrath going to go from here?
End goal. I mean, can I be dead honest, bro? If I would have known 5 years into this journey, YouTube would be, I guess, treating my content like this, I don't think I would have done it. It's so
Yeah.
interesting. I was thinking 5 years in of busting my ass, I'll be making a few $1,000s a month from YouTube and really kind of chilling and just waking up and doing a video. And the reality is that's not where it is. So the reality of my content, or the future of my content, bro, I'm so much more interested in like the mind and like mental stuff and meditation and stoicism and stuff like that. I'm sure stuff, the podcasts that you hear, like all that stuff, like that interests me a little bit more content wise. And my girlfriend's probably gonna kill me. I have to say this quietly, but bro, like I wouldn't be opposed to even selling the channel. You know, like that's how far like I'm still gonna wake up and do this because it's how I make money. I have to, you know. But when I said in the beginning, when like I'm really starting to evolve, I really feel like I'm starting to evolve. For example, I care much more about these calls than I kind of do my vids right now. I almost had an opportunity to go down and work with someone to interview these guys in person. And I just say that because I want you to know, like, that's what I'm more into right now. Like these type of connections, you know, like meaningful shit like this, you know, especially if I could do it in person. Like I want to see Jeremy in fucking person and I want to talk to you, Jeremy. Let's talk. You know, I'm more interested in stuff like that. I don't know what the future of my content. I won't stop the channel. Obviously, I can't. And I'll just continue pushing through and try to keep my head up.
Bro, as the business side of me, it just runs. Like when you're talking about these kind of things, it just runs. We got to talk, you know, like we'll talk off camera, but there's so much opportunity out there, you know, and the same thing, man. Like I want to go to Dubai Pro, but I'm not competing at the Dubai Pro. I want to go there and I don't even know what content I want to shoot. I just know I want to bring more light to the men's physique division, right? I think it's almost similar to you, you know, so imagine us both going down to Dubai, right? The crazy city of Dubai, and just sitting down at a coffee shop the morning before a show and saying, yo, let's figure out a way to bring tons of content for men's physique, you know, and share in the bliss of it, right? So again, brain's always running here, but
you should run that brain, bro. You should run that brain because I think after this conversation, you and I can, you know, get a better sense of how we're feeling about each other and our relationship. And I'm so happy that your brain does do that, bro. Because I'd be willing to do fucking anything. Like the only reason I denied that guy is because my car won't make it, or else I'd be down there. He wasn't gonna pay me anything, bro. I was just gonna go to do it, you know.
Imagine doing something like that and releasing them. Like, you know, imagine like the Olympia days before you started releasing them every single day, or, you know, a bigger show. We released, you know, talk to the top guy.
The division would explode, bro. The division would explode, and everyone would now be in love with men's physique. It's like,
and people would get unique perspectives. Like, what is this guy doing? How are they filling up? How close were they to the weight cap? You know, what's on their mind just going into the show? You know, all of these things, bro, are things that people want to know, and I truly believe can add tons of value. And
no, find me out there, bro. I will work under your company, bro, and I'll interview them. Just let me do one video a week on my channel.
Well, we're in conversation. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be something special, and it's going to happen a lot sooner than you guys think. All right, this is a segment I love doing at the end of these interviews. All right, it's just more of a rapid question, right? The majority of this, I like to peel back layers of who the person are, kind of talk a little bit more about what makes them tick and how they got to where they're getting to. But also, I have so many fucking questions that it's hard for me to do it in a condensed format, right? I call this segment these kind of style of interviews where it's a little bit more condensed, a cardio killer, right? So I want to use this to kind of throw questions at you that I had on my mind, you know, about random topics in the men's physique division that I just didn't know perfectly how to work in there. All right, so again, short answers to the point, and then we're going to throw about 4 or 5 at you, right? So do you believe that IFBB Pro Dan has what it takes truthfully to be successful in the men's physique division? Be honest. Be honest.
Yeah. I think he can be successful in the men's physique division. Yes, I do.
What's your ideal of success? I had to throw it back.
My ideal for success in the men's physique division is multiple pro show wins.
Okay,
probably
so Olympian.
Top 10 at the Olympia a few times, like real success. I was a top 10 Olympian. I got 5 pro show wins. Can Dan get there now that I talk about it like that? I don't know, Dan. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
I believe Dan will be in the top 10 in A division. I can't say men's physique just yet. Put it that way. I love Dan. All right. Who is your favorite men's physique athlete of all time? I think I know this one.
Probably Raymond.
Okay.
Probably
that's
Raymond.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Is it more because of his stature, his height, and kind of how it motivated you, a taller guy, as well?
Yeah, we're literally like the same height, same kind of look. You know, I'm obviously a lot more handsome than him, but other than that, we're about the same, bro.
I love it. All right, big one, right? I need you to think about this one.
Okay.
Early 2024 Olympia champion prediction. I want first place. Who's taking home the
Ryan Terry.
title? Woo! He is. I like it.
Ryan
And it's
Terry.
funny. It's funny because I know you motivated him last year when you didn't have him in that top call out. And now I think you're cleaning that one up a little bit.
Terry all day, bro. If he shows up like he just did at the 2023, I don't think anyone's going to have enough improvements to match that type of Terry.
And the crazy thing is, man, he still has so much room to improve.
What is he, 30?
Yeah, bro, and that's the thing. Like, I'm literally talking about this in a future video where I think he like bathes in the fountain of youth. Like he's actually 35, but he looks but he looks so young, man. He's been around. He's been around since what? I think he's been competing since 2012 when the division started, but it was in like more of a beach kind of thing. And then when Men's Physique started, he transitioned and became a pro in 2020 or 2014, and they started dominating first place wins, Olympia qualifications. And again, he's been at the Olympia 10 years in a row and placed every single placing, like every single one between the top 10. Like, it's kind of wild.
One of the best ever, if not the best.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw this out there now, not just because he's my boy, but I truly believe if Aaron Banks is the best version of himself on stage, I truly don't believe that many people can beat him. He has to be the best version of himself, though. But that's who I think right now. All right. Do you think, last question here, do you think with leg development being more of an emphasis that the men's physique division will be more respected around the industry?
Yeah, I think it will. I think people would like to see a little bit more balance from Corey Morris. Yeah, I think it will.
I love it, man. Well, listen, that's a wrap, but I wanted to, again, take this second to thank you for hopping on. Again, this has been something that has been I wanted to do for a long time, man. Again, you've helped pave a way for me to be more comfortable in front of the camera talking about the division, and I likely would not be doing this if it weren't for you. Thank you as somebody who was a competitor in the men's physique division to be doing what you're doing, but also somebody in front of the camera. And I just wanted to give you an opportunity to say anything that you want to wrap up with before we get out of here.
If I could say anything, bro, I'm gonna throw it back on you and say how fucking hardworking you guys are over there and doing what you're doing. People don't get it. I've been making videos for 5 years about this shit. The way you guys are putting out stuff and just doing it your way and just going for it is the dopest thing ever. And I know that anyone else in the world can do what we're doing right now. Anyone else in the world, if they wanted to, they could do it. But it takes a different fucking animal to do what you're doing, bro. Especially as a competitor. What other competitor is solely focusing on men's physique, doing interviews, uploading content, connecting with the other YouTuber guy? No one's doing that. No one is doing that, bro. And like, I can feel it. And like, you know, I'm just grateful to be part of it, bro. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
I wouldn't be where I am if it weren't for people like Hart. I wouldn't be where I am if it weren't for people like Johnny. And I wouldn't be for where I am for those who are watching and subscribing and showing consistent content or love to the content. And again, this is what the division needs more of. And I know Hart and myself are going to continue to do everything we can to bring value to the division we love, to the athletes we care about. Because again, the division will no longer be a redheaded stepchild if we continue to do what we're doing.
I love that. So, preach.
Exactly. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'm telling you right now, looking at the camera, right? You will see a lot more of Hart Mcgrath. We will continue to collab, right? And we will continue to add more emphasis to the division we love. Until next time, guys, we will see you very, very soon.